Dear students, I am Santhan, working as a physics faculty in Target English Medium School. Today, in this part video, I would like to explain what are the rules for image formation. It is very important for not for the exam point of view, but mostly when you are understand this concept. For the first next one, graphically how to draw the image formed by the convex and concave lenses. In the topic, the topic is very easy to you when you are understanding the rules for image formation. So our heading is, what is that one? Rules for image formation. So listen, to locate the position of the image and nature of the image formed by the either convex or concave lens when the light is passing through that. These rules are, you must be followed. When you can follow these rules, it is very easy to you to locate a position of the image and what is the nature of the image. Listen carefully. In order to locate the position and the nature of the image formed by the lens, we must be follow some rules and regulations. That topic we discussed in this concept, that is rules for image formation. But before going to this, I will say that in our study I clearly explained how many types of lenses are there. Two types of lenses are there: convex lens and concave lens. A lens which is thinner at marginal or edges, thicker at the middle, that lens we are called convex lens. It is acts as a converging lens. A lens which is thin at the middle, thicker at the edges or periphery or marginal, that lens we are called, what is that one? Concave lens. Concave lens or acts as diverging or divergent lens. But anyway, in case of convex or concave, the lens refractive index must be greater than the refractive index of the surrounding medium. But here, what is the difference between the mirrors and lens means? Mirrors will be having only one refracting surface or curved surface, but the lenses are, they have at least one, it has the two refracting surface, but among the two refracting surface, at least one is the spherical or curved surface. But in the mirrors, only one curved or spherical surface is there. In case of the lenses, we have used the two or one, at least one. But most of the cases, two curved surfaces we can say that. In case of equi or biconvex or concave lenses. First, we are observing that. Convex lens. Always we can say the equiconvex lens here. It is the optic center. Lens center part, because of we know that lens is a transparent material bounded by the two refracting surface. That's why, like this one, it is the one refracting surface. It is the another refracting surface. That's why this line is separated. This is the one curved surface. It is the second curve. These two are bounded. Is nothing but physically attached. This point. So that's why here, if we draw a principal axis, the principal axis where meet the perpendicular line, that is the optic center. So here it is optic center. This is the principal axis. We know that it is an equiconvex lens. Now here, so what will be happen means, for it is a which type of lens? Convex lens. In this equiconvex lens, how many spherical refracting surface are there? Two spherical or curved refracting surface. This is the first one from left to right. Because of that on the blackboard or when you can write anything, always you can move from left to right. That's why it is the first one. It is the second refracting surface. So in case of convex, okay, this principal focus is this side. That's right. For the first refracting surface, the principal focus is this side, that is the F1, and C1 is the center of curvature, because of every spherical or curved surface will be having its own center of the sphere or center of curvature. F1, C1. C1 we are also called as 2F1 because of actually, so in the reflection of light chapter I explained clearly, R is equals to 2F. Radius of curvature is equals to always twice than the focal length. That's why it is the F1 means it is the C1. C is nothing but C is nothing but center of curvature. Here to here, this distance means the distance from optic center or pole to principal focus is called focal point or focus point. That's why F is the focal point, R is the radius of curvature. Radius of curvature is nothing but the distance from center of the curvature to pole or optic center. F is nothing but focal point, the distance from optic center to this one. That's why this is the F, it is the R, then automatically R is equals to twice than the F. That is one. Next, for the second curved surface, for this one, this center of curvature is here, C2 is nothing but 2F2 here. Because of center of curvature or radius of curvature is twice than the focal length. That's why. So in case of convex lens, F1 is this side, C1 is also right hand side. F2 and C2 are the left hand side. Next, in case of concave lens, so this one, it is the principal axis. Like this. It is the optic center. We know that it is the first concave surface, it is the second concave surface. So in case of concave surfaces, the principal focus and the center of curvature are present in the same side because of this is the reflecting surface. Here, this is the reflecting surface. The reflecting surface is outward, that is called convex. For the convex, curved surface or spherical surface, so the focal length and center of curvature is always behind is there. That's why for this one, for this refracting surface, behind the refracting surface, what is there? Focal length and center of curvature. For this one, this side is there. But in case of concave, the reflecting surface is inward, that is called concave. In case of concave spherical surface, the center of curvature and focal, principal focus, both are in the same side of the refracting surface only. But in this one, opposite side. That's why it is the F1, it is the C1 or 2F1. Then automatically this side, F2, it is the C2 or 2F2. This is one. So now convex and concave lenses, in case of equi or bi, so it has the two refracting surfaces are there. Due to that one, each curved surface will be having one principal focus and one center of curvature. That's why in case of equiconvex lens, two spherical curved surfaces are there. Due to that one, the equi or biconvex lens will be have the two focus, principal focus and two center of curvature. But in case of equiconvex lens or biconvex lens, so F1 and C1 are in the side of in the right hand side, and F2 and C2 are in the object side. These two are in the image side, these two are in the object side, because of most of the cases object is placed in the left hand side. Next, in case of concave lenses, it will be also having two concave spherical surfaces. In this one, F1 and C1 are in the same side of the object. F2 and 2F2 are in the side of the formation of the not image in the other side of the object. F1 C1 are the other side of the object. F2 C2 are the same side of the object. Here F1 C1 are the same side of the object. F2 2F C2 are the other side of the object. Just opposite. So generally, convex lens are represented by a symbol that is the arrow mark like this one in upper portion. This is the symbol for the which one convex lens, and the concave lens is like this one. Is so it is represented the which one concave lens. It is represented which one convex lens. So this type of symbol is appear. It is represented the convex lens. This type of symbol is represented the concave lens. Now we are going for rules for sign conversion. Rules for image formation. So the first one is a ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction. It is passing through the principal focus F. It is passing through the principal focus F in convex lens and appears to diverge from focus. Listen, and appears to diverge from focus in concave lens. Listen very carefully. What is the first rule for image formation means? With help of these rules for image formation, in order to locate what is the position of the image is nothing but where the image will be formed by the either when you are using either convex or concave lens, and what is the nature of the image, that is the real or inverted, and also it is upright or magnified, like that type of anything nature. That's why in order to locate the formation of the image and the position of the image, we can find by using this one only. If we know these rules, it is very easy to you to graphically represented the image formed by the lenses. So what is the first one? A ray parallel to the principal axis. The ray is coming from the object is parallel to the principal axis after the refraction. Is nothing but when the light will be passing through the which one? Lenses. After refraction, it is passing through the principal focus in which lenses? Convex lenses. Listen very carefully. A ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction if the light ray is passing through the principal focus in case of convex lens, and but in case of concave lenses, the rays appears diverged from the principal focus. It is very important. For the 1 mark, I will draw the diagram for each and every rules and sign. Okay, so diagrams are there. After writing this one, you must draw the diagram also. Which diagram I drawn on the blackboard. Here. So we consider the two rays. So in our previous video also I clearly explained, after refraction in case of convex lens, so they are converged, but after the refraction in concave lens they are diverged when in case of parallel beam of light. That's why it is the focus. So the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis. After the refraction, it must be passing through the focus. Here is also next. Incident rays are parallel to the principal axis. After the refraction, we know that it is going to like this. It is going to like this. In our previous video, I clearly explained this one also. This ray produced to back. Focus. That's why you are observing that. So the incident rays are parallel to the principal axis. After the refraction, so the refracted rays appears diverged from this point. Which point? Principal focus. That's what is the first rule for image formation. A ray parallel to the principal axis. After the refraction, it is passing through the principal focus in which lens? Convex lens, and appears to diverge from the focus in concave lens. That is one. You can draw these two diagrams also after write the first rule for sign. Next, second rule for image formation. Second one is the same for both convex and concave. A ray passing through the principal focus is nothing but initially the incident ray passing through the principal focus at that time. After the refraction, the refracted ray is parallel to the which one? Principal axis. Is nothing but reverse for the previous one. For example, here it is the focus point. Focus point. From this one, I will consider the two rays. After the refraction, they appears to parallel to the which one? Principal axis. Listen very carefully. The incident rays are coming from the focus. After the refraction, in case of convex lens and concave lens, they are the refracted ray is parallel to the principal axis. Here is also this side focus, we can consider that. So now here, but in case of this concave lens, it is somewhat difficult because we are understanding like this. So that's why the rays are coming from the object. It is you are observing that these two rays are appears to passing through which one? Focus. But after the refraction, means here this one, it will be what will happen? Parallel to the refracting surface is nothing but in this one. Listen very carefully. Here it is the curved surface is there. If the light will be coming like this, just we can check that. If we draw a tangential line for this one, we draw a normal. We know that when the light is travel from rarer to denser, it will be slightly deviate from its path and moves towards the normal. This one. Again fall onto this one. For this one, we draw the normal. So that's why, here like this. After the second refraction, from here to here, denser to rarer, it will move away from the normal. So that's why mostly it is slightly deviated, but generally here we are observing that exactly model. Trying to draw one side. This is one I will explain here now. If light will be fall here, it is the incident ray. That's why this is the initial path of the incident ray. Then it is bent like this. Next, for this one, we draw it. Here. Then it is parallel or not. So after the refraction, this one, it is moved away from the normal. That's why you are observing that like this. It is also like this. So like this mode, then means what will happen? This ray you produce to forward, this ray also produce to forward. These two are appears to meet at which point? Focus. That's why in case of concave lens, the incident rays are appears to passing through the focus. After the refraction, the refracted rays are parallel to the principal axis. Next, third one is also there. Okay. A ray passing through the optic center along the principal axis. After refraction, the refracted ray undeviated from its path. Is nothing but after the refraction also the refracted ray is passing through the principal axis only. Listen very carefully. A ray passing through the optic center along the principal axis. After refraction also the refracted ray is undeviated from its path. Is nothing but the refracted ray is passing along the principal axis only. Like this. It is the optic center. So we know that it is the principal axis. The ray will be like this. Okay. So it is the incident ray. It is the refracted ray. So here we are observing that the light is coming fall onto the refracting surface by passing along the which one principal axis. If you can draw a tangential line here for providing the normal. So at this one you are observing that for the refracting surface at this point the incident ray behaves as to fall normally. We know that in the chapter of refraction of light at plane surfaces we discussed that if the incident ray will be fall normally on refracting surface, it will be undeviated from its path. That's why angle I is equals to angle R. So what we can write, a light ray is passing through the principal axis. After the refraction it is undeviated and also the refracted ray is passing along the principal axis only. Like the same thing here is also. Optic center like this. Incident ray, refracted ray. So incident ray is passing through the principal axis. Refracted ray is also passing through the principal axis. Is nothing but it is undeviated from its path. Why? Because of which incident ray will be fall onto the refracting surface either in case of convex or concave. It will be appears to fall normally. And one more is also there, the fourth one and the final one. A ray passing through the optic center obliquely. A ray passing through the optic center obliquely. After refraction, the refracted ray undeviated, the refracted ray undeviated from its path. It is the optic center. For the optic center, like this. So, a ray passing through the optic center obliquely is nothing but the incident ray is makes certain angle with the principal axis when passing through the optic center. This is the angle, like this. This is called obliquely. When the incident ray is passing through the optic center obliquely, after the refraction, it is undeviated. Is really it is undeviated? No, it is deviated. But the deviation is produced by the lenses when it is passing through the optic center. It is very less, that is 0.01 millimeter. That's why you are not able to perceive that deviation, or you are neglected that deviation. Due to that, you are considered if the ray will be passing through the optic center obliquely, it is undeviated from its path. Once again, listen very carefully. The ray which is passing through the optic center obliquely is nothing but by making certain angle with the principal axis. At that time, after the refraction, the light ray is undeviated and moving into the straight line path only after the refraction. But it is undeviated really. Does the refracted ray is undeviated? No, the refracted ray is deviated. But the deviation produced by the lens when it is passing through the optic center obliquely, at that time its deviation is very less, that is 0.01 millimeter. It is we cannot perceive easily. That's why we are neglected the deviation produced by that lens. Due to that one, what I can say that so after the refraction, the ray will be undeviated from its path. So these are the ones. So that's why, what are the uses for rules for image formation means? So in order to locate the position of the image and nature of the image graphically, we must follow some rules and regulations. So this was given by the Fermat scientist. So how many rules and regulations are there? Mainly 4 are there. What is the first one? The incident ray is parallel to the principal axis after the refraction. The ray must be passing through the principal focus in case of convex lenses and appears to diverge from the focus in case of concave lens. Second one, the ray which is passing through the principal focus initially, after the refraction, the refracted rays must be parallel to the principal axis only. Next, third one. A ray is passing through the optic center along the principal axis. After the refraction, it is undeviated. Next, the fourth one. A ray passing through the optic center obliquely. After the refraction, the refracted ray is also undeviated. But it is really undeviated? No, the ray is deviated. But the deviation produced by the lenses of the thin lenses, it is very less. That's why the deviation produced by the thin lenses we are neglected. Due to that, what will be happen? You are considered it is undeviated either in case of convex and concave lens. These are the 4 rules for image formation. Thank you.